A lot of people talk about abandoned supercars in Dubai. This is where damaged supercars or cars that have been confiscated by the police or abandoned supercars come.
Dubai, known for its extraordinary growth and modern wonders, transformed in just a few decades from a quiet fishing village into a dazzling global hub. With gold ATMs, futuristic metros, and man-made islands, it showcases ambition on an unmatched scale. But is it all sustainable, or is it on the verge of collapse? From abandoned supercars to massive unfinished projects, these trends reveal a fascinating side of Dubai that few discuss. The end has come to Dubai. Let's uncover 20 alarming phenomena that are happening in Dubai. In parts of Dubai, some of the most surreal sights are luxury supercars, Ferraris, Lamborghinis, Bentleys, abandoned parking lots, deserts, and even airport terminals. Many still have keys in the ignition and apology notes from owners. These cars, often worth hundreds of thousands of dollars, reflect a deeper issue in Dubai's economic and legal system. Under United Arab Emirates law, defaulting on debt or declaring bankruptcy can lead to imprisonment. Facing financial collapse, many expatriate business owners flee the country, leaving behind assets they cannot carry. The result is a city where failed ventures often end with a sudden exit and abandoned property. The phenomenon has become so widespread that it fuels a niche tourism sector, with visitors exploring the supercar graveyards. It's a striking example of how Dubai monetizes even the consequences of economic failure. In the heart of one of the world's harshest deserts, Dubai built the Miracle Garden, a floral display with 50 million flowers spread across 72,000 square meters. Opened in 2013, it features attractions like a life-sized Airbus A380 made of flowers and giant Disney sculptures holding Guinness World Records. However, the garden represents one of Dubai's most concerning environmental challenges. Maintaining 50 million flowers in a desert requires immense amounts of water and energy. In a region where water is scarce and costly, each flower demands constant irrigation. The garden operates seasonally, closing during summer when temperatures exceed 50 degrees Celsius. From November to April, it consumes millions of liters of desalinated water daily. Desalination is highly energy-intensive and contributes heavily to carbon emissions, making the garden one of the most environmentally taxing tourist sites globally. Each year, the garden is replanted and redesigned, requiring the import of millions of flowers and tons of soil, much of it shipped from thousands of kilometers away. This contributes to a massive carbon footprint. The Miracle Garden reflects Dubai's broader development model, building grand attractions without fully addressing their environmental or economic sustainability. It requires ongoing investment, yields limited long-term value, and consumes vital resources in an ecologically fragile region. One of the most concerning aspects of Dubai is its demographic structure. Only 15% of residents are Emirati citizens, while 85% are temporary expatriate workers. This imbalance creates a social model that is both unequal and unsustainable. Most expatriates come from South Asia, with Indians comprising the largest group at around 900,000, followed by Pakistanis and Egyptians. These workers seek economic opportunities but have no path to permanent residency or citizenship, forming a long-term underclass. This results in major challenges. Most workers who build and maintain the city lack a lasting stake in its future and eventually return home with their earnings. Emirati citizens enjoy broad state benefits, while expatriates have limited rights and face deportation for minor offenses. The model leaves Dubai vulnerable to external economic shocks. A downturn could trigger a mass departure, crippling vital services and infrastructure. Culturally, the city lacks a cohesive identity due to its transient and diverse population. Dubai's economic strategy depends on a steady influx of foreign labor while maintaining this imbalance. If global conditions shift or its appeal weakens, the city risks rapid depopulation, stalled development, and unresolved questions about equity, governance, and social stability. Camel racing has been a traditional sport in the Arabian Peninsula for over 1,000 years, but Dubai's modern version raises important questions about how tradition intersects with human rights and technology. Since 2002, the United Arab Emirates has replaced human jockeys with robotic ones, metal frames with remote-controlled whips and racing silks, operated by Camel owners driving alongside the track. This change was introduced following international concerns about the welfare of young riders used in the past. Previously, children from countries such as Bangladesh, Pakistan, and Sudan were involved in camel racing under unsafe conditions. Many were underage and placed at significant risk. The introduction of robot jockeys helped eliminate this issue in the sport. But it also reflected a pattern of addressing symptoms with technology rather than reforming broader systems. Although progress has been made in camel racing, labor challenges remain in other industries, including construction, domestic work, and hospitality. The deeper structural issues affecting vulnerable workers still require attention. Modern camel racing, now a high-tech experience, is often presented for tourism and entertainment. While preserving heritage is valuable, ensuring ethical practices across all sectors is equally important. At first glance, the Dubai Mall may seem like just another shopping center, but it reveals a deeper issue in Dubai's development strategy. A pattern of building the biggest and most expensive attractions, often without weighing long-term economic sustainability. The mall spans over 1 million square meters across 4 floors and includes more than 1,200 stores. Yet shopping is only a part of it. The complex features a theme park, children's edutainment center, cinemas, an indoor ice rink, and one of the world's largest aquariums, holding over 10 million liters of water and 33,000 marine creatures. Keeping thousands of marine animals alive in the desert requires immense resources, specialized staff, and constant climate control. Annual operating costs, excluding construction expenses, reach into the millions. The Dubai Mall functions as a city within a city, designed to keep visitors inside for hours. While visually impressive, it reflects an economy dependent on high-maintenance, tourist-driven projects. When tourism halted during the COVID-19 pandemic, venues like the Dubai Mall suffered major losses. Animals still needed care, systems still ran, and staff still required pay, despite the lack of revenue. In boom times, the model thrives. Downturns expose Dubai to serious economic vulnerability. Enjoyed the video? Before we continue, don't forget to ring the bell, share it with your friends, and hit that subscribe button if you haven't yet. It truly helps me out, and I promise to bring you even more awesome content. Until 2015, Dubai lacked a conventional address system. Instead of street names and house numbers, mail relied on landmarks and descriptive directions. While it may seem quirky, this points to a larger issue with Dubai's rapid development. The city expanded so quickly that infrastructure couldn't keep pace. Buildings rose faster than streets could be properly named or mapped, making basic services like mail delivery and emergency response difficult. In response, the Makani system was introduced in 2015, assigning coordinate-based codes to every building. Though effective, it reflects a pattern where Dubai retrofits essential systems after development, rather than planning comprehensively from the start. The issue is compounded by demographics. About 85% of Dubai's residents are temporary expatriates. In a transient population unfamiliar with local landmarks, proper navigation systems are crucial. Makani functions well, but the need for it underscores Dubai's build first, fix later approach. This model works during times of growth and wealth, but creates vulnerabilities when multiple deferred problems arise. Few projects illustrate Dubai's ambition and vulnerabilities more than its artificial islands. The Palm Jumeirah, Palm Jebel Ali, Palm Deira, and the World Archipelago stand among the boldest engineering efforts ever, requiring over 100 million cubic meters of sand and rock to construct. The Palm Islands span more than 60 square kilometers, and the world comprises 300 islands over 55 square kilometers. While impressive, these developments expose serious concerns about Dubai's growth strategy. Environmentally, the damage has been severe. Island construction destroyed coral reefs and disrupted marine ecosystems. Altered water circulation has led to stagnation and decreased water quality. Financially, these islands depend on a narrow market of ultra-wealthy international buyers. Properties in the world range from $7 million to $2 billion, making them highly susceptible to global economic instability. During the 2008 financial crisis, many islands remained unsold or abandoned when investors failed to complete purchases. Maintenance costs are high. Preventing erosion, maintaining infrastructure, and managing environmental damage require continuous funding tied to ongoing sales. If demand falls, Dubai could be left with massive, unsustainable infrastructure. Most concerning, these projects reflect a willingness to make lasting environmental sacrifices for short-term economic gain. Once built, the damage cannot be undone. The global move away from fossil fuels poses an existential threat to Dubai that few openly address. As renewable energy and electric vehicles gain momentum, the wealth source that built and sustains much of Dubai's economy is under mounting pressure. International oil companies are shifting toward renewables, benefiting the environment but significantly cutting back on oil and gas investment. In recent months, the United Arab Emirates reportedly lost around 1 million barrels per day in potential production due to decreased investment in the sector. This decline ripples across the region. As oil revenues shrink, wealthy individuals and sovereign wealth funds, key investors and consumers in Dubai reduce spending. Luxury real estate slows, tourism from oil-rich nations dips, and financing for large construction projects becomes more difficult. Though the UAE's involvement in the Organization of the Petroleum Exporting Countries Plus helps stabilize oil prices, it underscores the country's ongoing reliance on a volatile market. As renewables become more affordable and widespread, this dependence becomes increasingly risky. The real concern lies in Dubai's model, built on relentless growth. It requires steady capital inflow to remain competitive and service substantial debt. If oil-driven wealth in the region and globally continues to decline, Dubai may face its most serious economic challenge since its founding. When Disney declined to build a theme park in Dubai, the city responded by launching something even bigger, Dubailand. Dubailand was planned to be twice the size of the largest Disneyland, with a projected cost of over $64 billion. Envisioned as the world's largest amusement park complex, it was to include multiple theme parks, shopping centers, hotels, and residences across an area larger than many small countries. Construction began in 2003, but 20 years later, the project remains mostly incomplete. The 2008 global financial crisis halted development, and progress since then has been inconsistent. Sections have opened, closed, or been redesigned multiple times. This reflects a deeper issue in Dubai's mega-project model. Grand announcements often outpace practical execution. Dubailand has become a symbol of over-promising and under-delivering. It also reveals a lack of sustained focus. Rather than completing Dubailand, Dubai has shifted to new mega-projects, leaving behind costly, unfinished developments that generate little revenue. Dubailand was meant to position Dubai as a global family tourism hub, rivaling Orlando. Its failure raises doubts about the sustainability of building ever larger attractions without long-term economic grounding. Dubai set out to outshine Disney with Dubailand, but after 2 decades and billions spent, it's still largely unfinished. Do you think this kind of ambition without follow-through helps or hurts a city's global reputation? Let us know in the comments below. Standing at 828 meters, the Burj Khalifa is both Dubai's greatest achievement and a symbol of its deeper challenges. This architectural feat took 6 years to build and cost roughly $1.5 billion, reflecting the immense ambition behind modern Dubai. The surface area equals 17 football fields, and its weight matches 100,000 elephants. Special concrete was used to reduce heat absorption, vital in the harsh Middle Eastern climate. The observation deck sits 555 meters above ground, overlooking the Arabian Desert. Yet the Burj Khalifa also reveals a critical flaw in Dubai's development model. Originally named Burj Dubai, the project stalled during the 2008 financial crisis. Abu Dhabi, with its vast oil wealth, provided a bailout. In return, the tower was renamed after Khalifa bin Zayed Al Nahyan, the former UAE president, signifying Dubai's reliance on external financing, especially from oil-rich Abu Dhabi. The tower also highlights Dubai's costly maintenance needs. Cleaning it takes 3 months and millions of dollars. Cooling systems consume vast energy year-round. These high costs apply to many of Dubai's projects, demanding constant revenue and posing long-term sustainability risks as global investment becomes less certain. The Dubai Frame, a 150-meter tall structure in Zabel Park, was designed to symbolize the connection between Dubai's past and future. One side shows old Dubai's traditional neighborhoods, while the other frames the modern skyline. Though conceptually poetic, the frame reflects deeper concerns in Dubai's development strategy. Architect Fernando Donis, who won a design competition organized by the Seinkrupp and Dubai municipality, claims his intellectual property was used without credit. The final design was completed by others, raising serious concerns about creative rights and legal ethics. This case highlights a recurring issue in Dubai, appropriating international ideas without fair recognition or compensation. While this may yield short-term gains, it harms Dubai's global creative reputation. The frame also reflects the city's preference for symbolism over function. Though a tourist attraction, it does not address real urban needs. The $150 million spent could have funded housing, transit, or environmental initiatives. Inside, the museum presents a sanitized history and a future of limitless growth, omitting the city's social, labor, and environmental issues. The glass-bottom deck offers not just a view, but a metaphor for top-down decision-making, where the majority of residents remain excluded from shaping Dubai's future. For decades, Dubai promoted itself as a tax-free haven with zero income tax and no corporate taxation. This attracted millions of expatriates and thousands of international companies, fueling rapid growth. However, in June 2023, the United Arab Emirates introduced a 9% corporate tax on business profits, ending the era of zero corporate tax. Though low by global standards, this marks a major change in Dubai's appeal to international businesses. The move was not voluntary. It was prompted by global pressure to curb tax avoidance and money laundering. While the zero tax policy drew legitimate firms, it also attracted those looking to evade taxes through questionable means. This shift shows Dubai's increasing need to align with international norms, potentially weakening one of its key competitive advantages. Some companies may now consider relocating to other low-tax jurisdictions or returning home. Introducing corporate tax implies that existing revenue sources may no longer cover the city's ambitious projects and operations. Future global tax or compliance changes could further alter its business environment, eroding the very policies that once made it a magnet for global talent and capital. Dubai's metro system is both a technological milestone and an example of the city's flawed development model. Opened in 2009, the Dubai Metro spans 90 kilometers and holds the record as the world's longest fully automated railway. It operates without drivers and includes 49 stations across 2 lines. The red line runs from Rashidia to Jebel Ali, and the green line from Etisalat to Dubai Creek intersects at Union Square and Burj. The system eases traffic and improves air quality, but it largely caters to tourists and wealthy residents, not the city's working population. Most low-income expatriate workers who build, clean, and maintain the city live far from metro access and depend on overcrowded buses or shared transport. The metro connects luxury hotels, malls, and tourist spots, creating a 2-tier system that excludes essential workers. The pricing structure, with premium carriages costing double, further reflects this divide. Despite its high cost and advanced technology, the metro fails to meet the needs of most residents. Its automated nature also reduces job opportunities, relying on imported systems rather than employing local or resident workers. This reveals a broader pattern of prioritizing spectacle over inclusive urban planning. Do you think Dubai's metro system should be redesigned or expanded to better serve the city's working population? And if so, what changes would make the biggest difference? Let us know in the comments below. In January 2022, Dubai shifted its official weekend from Thursday-Friday to Saturday-Sunday, retaining a half-day of work on Fridays for religious observance. Though it may seem minor, this change reveals deeper issues in Dubai's social and economic planning. The shift aimed to align with Western business schedules and global financial markets, reflecting Dubai's dependence on external economic systems rather than building stronger regional networks. The half-day on Friday attempts to balance religious tradition with economic priorities but ends up highlighting the tension between Islamic practices and the city's push for growth. This compromise satisfies neither side fully. What's more troubling is how the change was made, with little input from the expatriate workforce, which forms the majority of Dubai's population. The decision served Emirati interests and global investors, leaving foreign workers to adapt without consideration of their own cultural or religious needs. This policy also underscores Dubai's identity struggle between preserving Islamic values and serving global capitalism. It illustrates a pattern of reactive decision-making driven by business goals rather than inclusive, long-term social planning. Dubai's relationship with gold reveals a striking aspect of its economy. In 2013, the city processed about 40% of all global gold trade, handling over 2,250 tons, roughly equal to the weight of more than 354 elephants. Across Dubai, ATMs dispensing 24-karat gold bars can be found in luxury hotels and malls. While they may appear as lavish novelties, they point to deeper concerns. Gold is traditionally a haven during economic uncertainty, and Dubai's massive gold trade suggests widespread financial anxiety. When individuals hoard gold rather than invest in productive assets, it reflects a lack of long-term economic confidence. Dubai even launched a campaign called Your Weight in Gold, offering residents 2 grams of gold for every kilogram lost. Around 7,000 people participated each year. The top performer, Ahmed Al-Sheikh, lost 26 kilograms in 3 months and earned 52 grams of gold worth thousands of dollars. These gold-centric initiatives highlight an economy driven by spectacle and luxury over sustainable industry. While gold trading brings in revenue, it does not foster lasting value or job creation like manufacturing or tech development would. Ski Dubai, located inside the Mall of the Emirates, reflects Dubai's drive to defy nature, regardless of environmental cost. The indoor ski resort spans 22,500 square meters and maintains sub-zero temperatures year-round in one of the world's hottest climates. The facility includes 5 ski slopes, a snowboard zone, and live penguins transported from Antarctica to live in an artificial Arctic setting in the Arabian Desert. Inside, temperatures stay at -4 degrees Celsius, while outdoor heat often exceeds 45 degrees. Ski Dubai consumes vast amounts of electricity to maintain polar conditions, using energy equivalent to powering thousands of homes. Since most of Dubai's electricity comes from fossil fuels, the facility significantly contributes to carbon emissions. It also requires constant snow production using millions of liters of desalinated water, an energy-intensive process in a region facing severe water scarcity. Every snowflake is artificially created, symbolizing a stark disregard for environmental limits. The presence of penguins raises ethical concerns as they endure artificial lighting, human interaction, and habitat dislocation. Ski Dubai exemplifies a development model that prioritizes novelty over sustainability, treating energy and water as limitless resources. Many misunderstand Dubai's economy, believing its wealth comes entirely from oil. That's a misconception. While oil discovered in the 1960s provided the initial capital, Dubai's leaders quickly recognized that reserves were finite. They used petroleum revenues to build a diversified economy designed to outlast oil dependency. For decades, this strategy appeared successful. Today, oil contributes only about 7% of Dubai's GDP. The remaining 93% stems from tourism, real estate, finance, trade, and aviation. This diversification helped Dubai grow even as other oil-reliant economies suffered from price swings. But Dubai may not be as shielded as it seems. Though it moved away from direct oil reliance, it became increasingly dependent on investment and tourism from oil-rich neighbors and global elites whose wealth is tied to petroleum. When oil prices fall or regional tensions rise, Dubai still feels the effects. In essence, Dubai's economic independence is more fragile than it appears. The city has replaced direct oil dependency with a more complex, indirect reliance on global oil wealth. Given that Dubai's economy now depends heavily on investment and tourism linked to oil-rich neighbors, do you think its diversification strategy truly protects it from oil shocks? or just disguises the risk in a different form? Let us know in the comments below. Dubai often ranks among the world's safest cities, with low and declining crime rates. While this is seen as a major success, the methods behind it reveal deeper concerns about the city's system of control. The safety record is less about social cohesion or community policing and more about strict laws and the constant threat of deportation. Expatriates, who make up 85% of the population, can be expelled and banned for even minor offenses. This creates a climate of fear, where people comply not out of satisfaction but fear of losing their jobs and being separated from their families. Legal enforcement differs by status. Emirati citizens enjoy greater protections, while expatriates face harsher penalties for the same infractions. This disparity maintains order through deterrence rather than equity. Such control limits civil society. With most residents focused on avoiding penalties rather than engaging in the community, genuine social development is stifled. Dubai's system primarily benefits tourists and the wealthy while tightly regulating its labor force. If economic conditions worsen or solidarity among workers grows, this model of enforced order may no longer hold. The city's safety, then, relies more on maintaining its current power structure than on shared community resilience. Just 50 years ago, Dubai was a small fishing village with fewer than 60,000 people, relying on pearl diving, fishing, and trade across the Persian Gulf. In the 1960s, oil was discovered, but, unlike other nations that grew dependent on it, Dubai's leaders had a broader vision. Sheikh Rashid bin Said Al Maktoum chose to invest oil revenues into a larger plan for transformation. The shift was dramatic. Mud brick homes and traditional markets gave way to major construction projects. Oil profits funded infrastructure, ports, airports, and the idea of Dubai as a global center for business and tourism. By the 1990s, it was already a key trading hub. But the 2000s brought a construction boom of historic proportions. Artificial islands, towering skyscrapers, and luxury developments rose rapidly from the desert. This wasn't just growth, it was the birth of a new kind of city. Dubai presented itself as a bridge between East and West, a tax-free zone for business, and a luxury destination for the wealthy. Its rapid rise drew worldwide attention and came to represent the extreme potential of human ambition. All signs point to a troubling conclusion. Dubai's spectacular rise may be more fragile than it appears. While new projects continue, signs of decline are becoming harder to ignore. A key example is Ain Dubai, the world's tallest observation wheel. Launched with fanfare, it closed in March 2022 for periodic enhancements. In April 2023, its operators announced an indefinite closure without explanation. The German TÜV Association withdrew its safety certification, and the structure now sits idle, lit only by LED displays. Ain Dubai's fate reflects a broader pattern: grand attractions that are unsustainable to operate or maintain. High costs, complex upkeep, and safety demands have rendered many mega-projects unviable. Delays, overruns, and stalled developments now affect everything from islands to theme parks. Post-pandemic economic shifts, rising environmental awareness, and changing investor priorities have slowed the international capital that fuels Dubai's growth. Global trends in sustainability and social equity are challenging the city's resource-heavy, growth-at-all-costs model. Meanwhile, climate change threatens Dubai's future. Rising sea levels endanger its coastline, extreme heat limits outdoor life, and water scarcity is worsening. The glowing lights of Ain Dubai now stand as a symbol of a city built on uncertain foundations. Dubai dazzles the world with ambition, wealth, and innovation, but the 20 alarming phenomena we've explored reveal a city built on increasingly unstable foundations. From environmental destruction and unsustainable resource consumption to social inequality and economic dependence on volatile global markets, Dubai's glittering facade conceals fundamental vulnerabilities that threaten its long-term survival. Is Dubai the future of urban development, or a cautionary tale about the dangers of unlimited growth? The answer may determine not just the fate of one remarkable city, but the direction of human civilization as we face the environmental and social challenges of the 21st century. If you enjoyed today's video, please give it a like, and don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Your support means a lot to us. Thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you in the next video. Thanks for being with us. Leave a comment, like to show your support, and remember to hit that subscribe button for more exciting videos. See you next time.